Nobody expected this kind of scandal coming, yet now it's the only topic of conversation. Internet users are going crazy over a woman's shocking revelation regarding Mendeecees Harris. She claims that she was stuck and that there was no way out, and that she is now speaking up and revealing her truth to the public. The true surprise, though, is that Mendeecees hasn't spoken. Nothing, neither a denial nor an explanation, and that quiet. It is merely adding gasoline to the fire. Supporters are split. Some want him to speak up right away, while others think this is simply another effort to undermine him. Yandy, too. Oh, she's probably also involved in this. People are already making assumptions about her silence on social media. Does she know something we don't? Or is she simply awaiting the ideal opportunity to respond? I promise that you will want to hear every aspect of this story because it is getting out of hand. Let's dissect everything then. What is being said specifically? This woman is who? And, above all, are these startling assertions true? The story starts with a straightforward post that didn't look like much at first. However, it was like a fire being started as soon as it was posted online. According to this woman, whose identity was initially kept secret, she was in a scenario with Mendeecees Harris that left her feeling totally helpless. She said that the entire event had been a surprise to her and had plagued her for years. However, why now? What's the point of speaking up now? As soon as the news broke, supporters began to ask these questions. According to her story, when they first met, Mendeecees was a charismatic and powerful person. He was well known for his involvement in love and hip-hop and his connections to the entertainment business, which reportedly added to his appeal. Everything seemed normal at first, she remarked. He was courteous and friendly. Nothing looked strange about him. However, when she began to feel as though something was amiss, things took a bad turn. She claimed that Mendeecees became more domineering the more she attempted to distance herself. She said, "He wouldn't let me leave." It seemed as though there was no way out and the walls were closing in. She claimed that despite her repeated attempts to leave, Mendeecees would always manage to drag her back in and manipulate the circumstances such that she felt compelled to stay. She declared, "I didn't want to be there. Every time I attempted to leave, he would remind me of his immense power, even though I didn't feel safe." The story grew more terrifying as the woman revealed more information. Mendeecees would emotionally corner her, making it appear like there was no choice but to comply with his wishes, she said, describing times when she felt totally helpless. She described the incident, clearly terrified, saying, "It was like he had total control over me and I couldn't breathe. He gave me the impression that a horrible catastrophe would occur if I disregarded him." The internet was ablaze with rumors and conjecture by this point. Mendeecees fans were taken aback because this was not the reality TV personality they were familiar with. On screen, Mendeecees is renowned for his serene manner and family-oriented lifestyle. Therefore, he couldn't be capable of such a thing, could he? Many supporters hurried his defense, claiming that this was just another instance of someone attempting to discredit a famous person. "This isn't possible," remarked one user. "Mendeecees would never act in such a manner. For a second, I don't believe it." However, an equal number of people began to doubt their preconceived notions about Mendeecees. Some noted that even though he seemed like a devoted husband and father on television, there was always a possibility that he was more complex in real life. One cynical viewer remarked, "On TV, we only see what they want us to see. When the cameras aren't rolling, who knows what he's truly like?" More individuals started researching Mendeecees' past as the woman's story gained more attention. Although they had not been recognized at the time, some began to see patterns in his behavior that might have been warning signs. One commenter said, "He's always been smooth, always able to talk his way out of anything. Perhaps he won't be saved by his charm this time." Even though the woman had not yet disclosed every aspect of her interaction with Mendeecees, the severity of her charges was sufficient to garner media attention. She asserted that she would never forget the night in issue, claiming that the speed at which things progressed had caught her off guard. She remarked, "It started off so normal. However, everything changed in a matter of minutes, and I found myself confined." Her remarks conveyed a sense of powerlessness and terror that fans had never previously connected to Mendeecees. She characterized the experience as a time when she felt totally helpless and incapable of making any choices for herself. She claimed to have been frozen. "I was unsure about what to do. I had no idea how to leave that circumstance. He seemed to be in complete charge, and I was simply there." The allegations were startling, and the pressure on Mendeecees to answer increased as more people started to voice their opinions. Supporters were clamoring for clarification, and the longer he remained mute, the more people started to doubt the veracity of the charges. Some interpreted his silence as an indication of guilt, while others thought he was only waiting for his name to be cleared. As the story progressed, it became evident that this would not be a passing incident. People wanted to know everything, and the more they discussed it, the more the narrative seemed to get out of hand. With suspicions ranging from this being a total fiction to a more sinister truth that Mendeecees had been concealing for years, speculation was rife. For her part, the woman didn't appear to be looking for attention. She only wanted to share her experience and alert people to the type of man she believed Mendeecees to be. She had no desire for wealth or celebrity. She declared, "I'm not doing this for myself. I'm taking this action because the truth needs to be known." But was there more to her story? They must find out who he truly is. People saw contradictions when they started to dissect her allegations. While some thought her story was entirely made up from the beginning, others questioned whether she had any hidden agendas. One viewer said, "There's just something off about her. I'm not sure whether or not I believe her." Nevertheless, the narrative had already been published in spite of the skepticism. Now that the damage was done, Mendeecees was the center of attention. How would he respond? Would he fight back and deny everything, or would the charges be too much for him to bear? One thing became evident as the story's first section drew to an end: this was only the beginning. Mendeecees' life would never be the same regardless of what transpired after the woman's assertions opened a Pandora's box. Social media became a battlefield as the allegations against Mendeecees grew like wildfire. Some people immediately believed the charges, while others said it was just another attempt to discredit a successful black guy. One thing was certain, though: the world was looking for answers. And the quiet of Mendeecees. That simply made matters worse. Hours went by, then an entire day. Next to, he hasn't said anything yet. Furthermore, silence is not just suspicious, but even damning in the rapidly evolving world of social media. The internet was a flurry of conjecture, theories, and contentious discussions. Supporters wanted explanations. If the charges were untrue, several asked why he wasn't refuting them right once. Some thought he was taking his time coming up with the ideal answer. However, the woman who had come forward was the only one who wasn't keeping quiet. She disclosed disturbing details of her purported encounter with Mendeecees in an exclusive interview. She asserted that he was pleasant and put her at ease, and that things had begun well. Then everything changed, she said. She claims that Mendeecees turned controlling and possessive, and that things finally grew sour. She explained how he supposedly put her in a position where she felt helpless and was unable to get out. She was initially hesitant to speak up. "I was aware of his identity." Her voice was shaking as she said, "I knew what kind of power he had. However, I was no longer able to keep this to myself. I couldn't allow him to harm anyone else in this way." The public was stunned. Many people could relate to her description of her feelings of fear and helplessness. Then, however, things took yet another sharp turn. One more woman stepped forward. This time it was a stranger, but her narrative was uncannily similar to the first woman's. "I knew I couldn't remain silent any longer after seeing her interview," she remarked. "I felt the same way about him. As if I had no escape route. Everything altered as a result." One charge might be written off as miscommunication, but two. With the same unsettling specifics, the internet took off. The hashtag Where is Mendeecees started trending, with people demanding he speak out. Others began digging up old clips, past interviews, and social media posts, looking for any clues that could confirm or disprove these allegations. Finally, after days of silence, Mendeecees broke his silence, but his response shocked everyone. Instead of a statement, he posted a cryptic video on Instagram. No words, no captions. Just him staring into the camera while Drake's Fake Love played in the background. The internet flew into a frenzy. What was he attempting to say? Was he labeling the women liars? Was he making fun of the circumstance, or was he implying that he had lost the support of his closest friends? The responses were strong and quick. One individual wrote on Twitter, "That's not a denial. Why wouldn't he just say it if he was innocent?" Others thought he was using this to indicate that he was being set up. One fan countered, "He's saying everyone around him is fake. You guys failed to see the wider picture." Then, in yet another surprising turn of events, Yandy finally said something. However, her response was unexpected. She refrained from posting a lengthy statement in support of her spouse. To set the record straight, she didn't go live. Rather, she shared a straightforward black screen with white writing that read, "Every story has two sides." That was it. Fans were in disbelief. What was she trying to say? Did she support Mendeecees, or was she quietly pulling away from him? Did she acknowledge that something had happened, but that there was more to the story, or was she implying that the claims were unfounded? Nobody was sure what to think, and the fire was simply fueled by that uncertainty. Then a leaked text message changed everything, just when it looked like things couldn't be any more crazy. Online rumors began to circulate a screenshot purportedly taken by one of the accusations. "I told you this was gonna work." She was seen messaging a buddy in the message. "All we have to do now is wait for the money." The internet exploded. The entire controversy might have been a setup if this message was genuine. Supporters of Mendeecees launched an assault right away. One individual tweeted, "This was never about justice, it was about money." They seized the chance when they spotted it. "They're playing with him." Others demanded accountability from the women. They must be revealed if this is a hoax. False charges destroy lives. However, not everybody was persuaded. Some others doubted the text message's veracity. "How can we be certain that this is real?" One person said, "It could have been edited." It seems like a PR ploy to salvage his career. Then, in a startling turn of events, one of the accusers stepped up once more. She asserted, "I never sent that text." She maintained that Mendeecees' team was making a last-ditch effort to discredit her by claiming the screenshot was entirely funny. She said that they were attempting to ruin her reputation. "They will stop at nothing to keep me quiet." The drama had now peaked. Was the setup of Mendeecees real? Or were these ladies being portrayed as liars after speaking the truth? There was more division on the internet than ever before. However, just when everyone believed they had seen everything, someone else unexpectedly came forward. And it wasn't a purported victim this time. It was a member of Mendeecees' own inner circle. Someone who had worked with him for years, knew him personally, and had seen things that most people had not. What did they say too? Would completely alter everything. When a former Mendeecees associate came forward, the already chaotic situation on the internet took a whole new turn. This individual had been a longtime member of Mendeecees' inner circle and wasn't just a stranger looking for attention. How about what they said? Completely startling. In a candid interview, the unnamed source, who claimed to be a former business associate, dropped a bombshell. They started, "People don't know the real Mendeecees." The general public sees a reality star, a businessman, and a family man. However, behind the scenes, it's another matter entirely. The interviewer asked for more information. "What does that mean to you?" The source let out a sigh. "He is domineering. He always gets his way by manipulating circumstances. Additionally, he will stop at nothing to silence others when they don't agree with him." Everyone's attention was quickly drawn to that final section. Was this individual implying that Mendeecees had harmed these ladies in order to silence them? The interviewer was candid. "Are you implying that the charges against him might be accurate?" The source was hesitant. "Look, I'm not sure what transpired between those women and him. I can state, however, that I have witnessed him cross lines previously. When he doesn't get his way, I've witnessed him get combative. I have witnessed him use his power to eliminate issues." This was a huge revelation. This guy, who knew him personally and had a history with him, was stoking the flames with more than just accusations. Social media went viral once more. After this, "Are you still supporting him?" Someone tweeted, "Come on now. You know it's bad if even his own people are speaking out," someone else said. Supporters of Mendeecees, however, were not giving up. One admirer countered, "This is just a smear campaign. They're now looking for anyone who can criticize him." Mendeecees remained silent during the online debate. Fans now expected him to say something, anything at all. However, they only received one more mysterious post. "The loudest one in the room is the weakest one in the room," was the straightforward quotation this time, and the comments went nuts. What exactly is meant by this? So he's accusing everyone of being weak for raising their voices. It doesn't look good. The claimed victims continued to speak out, saying, "This is not the response of an innocent man." In a follow-up interview, one of the women reiterated her statements. She also had receipts this time. She produced earlier messages she had exchanged with Mendeecees, including exchanges in which he reportedly exerted pressure on her, exerted control over her, and made her feel confined. She displayed the timestamps as she scrolled through them. Do you notice this? It began like this. After giving the impression that he cared, he became increasingly combative. She went on, and this, at last, I took a stand for myself at this point. Observe his response. She informed him in a message that she was no longer at ease. His answer? Chilly, dismissive, nearly menacing. The internet went crazy. Individuals examined each communication in search of hints. Some thought the screenshots were proof enough. Others said they might have been funny. And then, things got even worse. Suddenly, one of Mendeecees' former partners made a startling revelation. He had also been abusive and domineering during their relationship, she said. She stated in a now viral post, "I never spoke on it before because I didn't want the drama. But after listening to the tales of these women, I can't keep quiet any longer. This changed the game. The media jumped on it. More women speak out against Mendeecees, is the headline everywhere. As more accusations come to light, Mendeecees is facing backlash. Even celebrities began to respond at this point. Others cut ties with him by unfollowing him on social media. Others expressed their belief in the women. Some even argued that accountability was necessary for Mendeecees. His career appeared to be taking a wild turn. However, just when it appeared that there was no hope, Mendeecees answered, and everything changed when he responded. Mendeecees met down with a prominent journalist to clear his name in a startling live interview. The interview began tensely. The reporter wasted no time. People are looking for answers. Are these women accusing you of something you did? Mendeecees gave a head shake. Definitely not. Leaning forward, he stared straight into the camera. I want to be clear that I have never done anything similar. These charges, they are wholly untrue. However, the reporter wasn't giving him a pass. So, what do you believe is causing these women to come forward? Why would they tell lies? Mendeecees let out a sigh. I'm not sure. Perhaps it's to attract attention. Perhaps it's financial. Perhaps they are being set up by someone. I just know that these statements are untrue. He went on. What about the alleged friend that voiced their opinions? That person is merely seeking influence. Someone who is upset at being cut out from my social network. The journalist pressed harder. How about the messages? The screen grabs? The so-called proof? Mendeecees gave a head shake. These days, anyone can fake anything. They're not real, and I'm not sure where they originated from. The internet did not believe it. Pay attention to his body language. He's telling lies. With no real justification, this man simply denied everything. Where is the concrete evidence that these women are telling lies? Mendeecees' followers were simultaneously embracing him. Are you really going to trust arbitrary images more than a man's words? However, the harm was already done. The scandal persisted despite his denial. Then, in the most surprising turn of events to date, a confidential recording was made public. What about this recording was going to completely upend the scenario? The internet was ablaze. The leaked video, which appeared to show Mendeecees having a discussion he didn't want the world to hear, was the topic of conversation. Even though the clip was only slightly longer than 3 minutes, those 3 minutes were packed with impact. It began with the woman's voice, which was trembling and anxious, but resolute. She said, "You are aware of what you did to me, and you're pretending it never happened now." The voice of Mendeecees followed. Composed but protective, he remarked, "I have no idea what you're talking about. This must end before it gets out of control." The woman refused to give up. That night, I pleaded with you to stop. I told you that I didn't feel at ease. You failed to pay attention. Following a protracted silence, Mendeecees uttered something that shocked social media. You were behaving as though you wanted. You are now reversing the narrative. Boom! The internet took off. Ahaz, he just ACVPTDET? My brother simply buried himself. He ought to have said nothing. This is crazy. There's no turning back now. However, just when everyone believed that things couldn't get much stranger, a woman said something shocking. A second recording was produced by her. What about this one? Was terrible. Mendeecees was allegedly overheard this time pledging money to resolve the matter. I will look after you, he said. I'll confirm that you're heterosexual. Just put an end to this conversation. The woman on the video seemed repulsed. So you believe you can reimburse me? Do you believe that money is the only factor here? There was silence once more. Then Mendeecees' voice returned, colder this time. I'm attempting to assist you. But if you want to play this game, know that I have contacts and lawyers. Do you truly wish to oppose me? That was it. The scandal had evolved into something more. This was something much larger. The industry turned against him. Quick. Companies that collaborated with him lost. Deals in business dropped. Relationships to reality TV stopped. His own acquaintances in the entertainment industry began to distance themselves as well. The big surprise, though, was when his wife, Yandy, eventually stood up. She appeared worn out, wounded, and totally depleted as she went live on Instagram. I'm at a loss for words, she acknowledged. This man and I have been together for years. I have stood up for him. I have supported him. However, these recordings, these charges, I am unable to ignore them. She drew in her breath. I need time to gather my thoughts. But for the time being, I'm moving on. Moving aside. The internet went crazy. Yandy going away from him. Even Yandy knows it's over for him, you know. For this man, she was ride or die. You can be sure it's bad if she's not there. Then, without warning, Mendeecees vanished. No fresh posts, nothing to say, nothing. Quiet. People began to wonder if he was hiding. Did he have a meeting with solicitors? Was he planning a resurgence? No one was aware. Then again, another twist. Mendeecees was the target of a fresh lawsuit. The initial female accuser against him, she wasn't done. She was taking him to court. And then, in a crazy turn of events, a third lady stepped forward. This woman said she had receipts. She provided screenshots of DMs supposedly from Mendeecees. He was pleading with her to remove something from the messages. I'll do whatever it takes to fix this, one message stated. Just please don't go public with it. Fans were taken aback. Even the most ardent supporters of Mendeecees were now turning against him. Bro, there is now too much proof. None of these women can possibly be lying. This is our Kelly again. Next came the final bomb. A video appeared. It was hotel lobby security footage. Mendeecees was seen arguing with a woman in the video. She was clearly upset. She tried to leave at one point. Mendeecees took hold of her wrist. Internet usage skyrocketed. Is this real? This dude is done. I don't think he'll return from this. And suddenly his empire was in ruins. Reality television, over. Business endeavors, ruined. Credibility? Destroyed. What's the worst? No one remained to protect him. Even famous people began to speak out. Those who had referred to him as a friend were suddenly claiming to have never known him well. Then came the last nail in the coffin. For the first time, Mendeecees spoke up. On Instagram, he shared a lengthy message. It read, "This has been the hardest time of my life. I will battle to clear my name because I have never hurt anyone. The truth will be revealed." However, nobody took him seriously. The remarks were ruthless. Bro, it's too late for that. Don't play the innocent card just yet. You wouldn't have remained silent for so long if you were innocent. What comes next then? Will Mendeecees defend themselves? Will he be destroyed by the lawsuits? Is Yandy going to formally leave him? There is no doubt that this story is far from over. We'll be here to provide you with all the updates as they happen, as usual. To ensure you don't miss the newest drama, please hit the notification bell, like this video, and subscribe to the channel. And let us know in the comments, do you think Mendeecees is guilty? Or is it all part of a larger setup? And that's where things are right now. A controversy so explosive that it has left fans, the industry, and even Mendeecees' closest pals profoundly shaken. However, the most important question still stands. What comes next? Will Mendeecees speak up and defend himself at last? Will additional women make even more startling accusations? What about Yandy? Will she support him or will she formally leave? Trust us, this narrative is far from over, and there are a lot of unsolved questions. Be sure to stay tuned for every update if you've been following this drama as carefully as we have. If you believe the truth should be revealed, click the like button. To ensure you don't miss any breaking news, subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications because, at this point, anything might happen next. We would also want to know what you think. Is Mendeecees being wrongly accused, or is he concealing something? Do you think there is another side to this story, or do you believe the women who are coming forward? Let's discuss it. Leave your ideas in the comments section below. This is Gossip Vibe, where you may find the most recent, startling, and talked about entertainment stories. We assure you that this is only the beginning, so stay tuned.